Well, hello everyone and welcome back. This is another Spiritual Thursday, and today's topic is prepping and why prepping is actually a pagan kind of conservative value. Well, let's look at the idea of being prepared for an emergency or a drought or something of that nature. One of the things that it indicates for those who actually bother to take time to be realistically prepared, and we're not talking about those crazy doomsday preppers that you saw, say, on the History Channel or the Travel Channel, where they've got, 50 billion MREs and some sort of, pseudo tank for the Mad Max dystopian future. What I'm talking about are the people who have a full pantry stocked in a second room in their house, who have a water catchment, who grow food in their backyard, who keeps a year's worth of dried food in their house of various types. And we're not talking about like MREs and dehydrated, bucket storage food. We're talking about real food, beans, rice, flour, shortening, that kind of stuff. Real food, not processed, packaged pellets like you're some sort of hamster. And it does also include, things like a hunting bow, rifles, handguns, a shotgun or two, so that you can hunt and defend yourself and keep your family safe. Because realistically, in a serious emergency scenario, you need to be able to defend yourself because the police will not be able to. They are going to be so busy attempting to restore order or attempting to help those who are already injured or near death that they're not going to be able to stop anyone who intends you violence. So you need to be prepared to protect yourself. And this is what I'm talking about. Not really some sort of end-of-the-world survival situation. I'm talking about something like what just happened in Houston. Yeah, they're talking about it being a once-in-a-500-year flood after a hurricane, but we get 12 to 15 hurricanes a year that make landfall in the United States. Some of them are worse, some of them are better. But if you're not prepared at all, then you're basically a drain on the public resources waiting to be rescued because you didn't take any time to think about what you were going to do if a hurricane hit. And so it makes you closer to the earth if you prepare. It makes you more in tune with the cycle of life if you prepare. And it is one of those things that people who are closest to the earth tend to think about what happens if next year isn't the same as this year. And it's something that we have lost by moving into these cities and the agricultural revolution and then the push of Christianity. It has kind of taken away that idea and allowed us to rely on somebody else. Well, for those of you who are like me, who are liberty-minded, and who feel a deep spiritual connection to the earth, we need to start doing what we know is right. And that means putting away the harvest. And so I'm going to invite you to join me and to continue stocking your pantry and to make sure that your pantry is perpetually full. Especially during this harvest season, there is no better time than the present to start. I know right now Wilco and most of the other major farm feed stores are holding their canning special sales. I know that there's a large amount of food out of the farms in your local area that are available right now in the farmers market. A lot of it's going to go bad if it doesn't get bought because these people have already sold everything they had to sell to the factory mills, and they are trying to sell what they can't sell to the factory mills to individuals. And if we start buying fresh from the farmers and preserving it ourselves, we will eat better, feel healthier, and possibly live longer because we won't be filling our bodies with all those chemicals. Well, thank you all again for joining me on this lovely Spiritual Thursday in the middle of the harvest season. I have some blackberries that I'm going to be turning into a low-sugar jam here in just a little bit because I've got some extra apple pectin that I'm going to use to make them set up hard. Thank you all again for joining me, and as always, have a spiritually enlightening Thursday.